perhaps I would do in my mom's kitchen growing up. Like, kitchens are very serious for me. Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Jiva and welcome back for a new reading vlog. I'm actually here right now just after kind of putting together a little summer TBR. I honestly wasn't going to do it because after putting together a spring TBR and just completely failing at it, I was in like the biggest reading slump for the past 2 months. So I feel like I've read maybe 3 or 4 books off of my spring TBR. So I was gonna skip the summer TBR and wait until autumn, but honestly, I was scrolling Instagram and some TikTok and Pinterest. I found a lot of book recommendations on Pinterest this time, and I just honestly felt inspired to put together a list for my summer TBR. So I'm actually gonna be filming that tomorrow. But since, like I said, I've been in a bit of a reading slump for the past like 2 months, I've barely been reading anything. And I think one of the reasons is because I've been trying to stick to a TBR. So I thought I'm just gonna steal this first week of July and do a little bit of mood reading. So that's actually why I'm here right now, because I want to do some mood reading and I thought I might as well take you along on the journey. Okay, so I do actually have a whole bunch of books right here next to me on my bed. I'm gonna show you. I have a couple files. First up, we have here the summer TBR books. And like, don't get me wrong, I am obsessed with all of those and I cannot wait to get started on those books. But it's just that right now I'm more in the mood for something like cute and magical and whimsical and cozy. And so for that, I actually have another pile right here with me. Like, I have it right here. Don't mind the socks. I've actually been trying to film my first ever like book talk. Unsuccessfully so far, but I'm gonna keep trying until I get it. But yeah, so here are some of the books that I've been in the mood for. We have The House in the Cerulean Sea by J Klune. I cannot wait. I've actually read this book before and I loved it, and recently I just cannot stop thinking about it, especially now that I know there's a sequel coming out in September. Like, I just need to go in and reread this one before the next book comes out. So I've been really in the mood for this one. Then we have this freaking legendary classic, Howl's Moving Castle by Wynn Jones. This just sounds like whimsical, cozy perfection, okay? It is even blurbed by Neil Gaiman, and Neil Gaiman saying Wynn Jones is the best writer of magic should really tell you that Wynn Jones is the best writer of magic. So yeah, I'm really in the mood for this one, especially since it's kind of short. Like, I've heard so much about the story, not only about the book but also the movie. It's supposed to be beautiful. It was adapted by Studio Ghibli, or was it first a movie and then written as a book? I'm actually not sure. But yeah, I would love to read this one and then watch the movie version. So, and then lastly I have here The Time I Got Drunk and Saved the Demon by Kimberly Lemming. Listen, I've heard so much about this one. Supposedly it's like one of the better cozy fantasy books out there. Everybody who has read it has loved it. Everybody who has read some of my other favorite cozy fantasy keeps recommending this one. So, you know, it's time to finally happen. And I think I kind of want to start with this one because it's so short. I think I could be done with it pretty quickly. So, yes, a very strong contender for what I'm going to be reading next. First. So yeah, these are the 3 whimsical books that I've been kind of really craving jumping into. But yeah, anyway, I need to stop talking, and so like I said, I think I'm gonna start off this reading vlog with The Time I Got Drunk and Saved the Demon. I'm gonna start reading this one right now, and I'm gonna check in with you later when I make some progress. I'm so excited about this one. It's about this young lady on the cover who gets drunk and saves a demon. I think she also runs an inn, and it's supposed to be like a cozy romantic story. That's what I know about it. I don't know what the demon and the lady on the cover get up to. I mean, that was a silly question. I meant plot-wise, what they get up to, you know, after she saves him. So that's gonna be a mystery, but I'm excited to find out. So yeah. Guys, I just found a map in here, so this book already looks very promising. Let me show you the map because it's a very pretty map. I love it when a fantasy book does a good map. Like, look at it. It's kind of heart-shaped. Oh, look at it! Oh my god, is that the Island of Love or something? Okay everybody, I've come down to my hiding place. I've started like calling my room down here my hiding place because it's actually it's where I'm hiding from the heat. It's like currently the coldest room in the house, and it's genuinely so nice to just sit down here and chill together with my book. So yeah, I've been coming down here a lot. And I actually do have a reading update because I've been reading this book like crazy. It's such a fast-paced story. It's definitely not slow. And there is a bit of a plot. So I'm already on page 160. I genuinely misjudged this book so much. First off, I have to set a record straight. This is not about a young lady who runs like an inn or a tavern. It's actually about this young lady who's called Cinnamon, and she runs a cinnamon farm together with her entire family. And it's all like fun and games until this demon comes along and she saves him, and he ends up taking her along on this crazy adventure to actually defeat a fake goddess. So that's what the plot is about. And they get up to all kinds of stuff, you know? And it's kind of funny because this book is actually pretty hot as well. So we all not only are dealing with hot weather, we're also dealing with a hot book. Like, I knew to expect spice from this book, but I didn't quite expect the amount of spice that we actually get, or like the level of spice that we're getting. And I'm not complaining, don't get me wrong, I just wasn't quite expecting it. But yeah, it's been fun. That's just it about the story though, and the book. It's just fun. It's like pure escapism, and it's a little bit ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie, it is a little bit ridiculous. But what I've been thinking is that this is like the type of story that feels a bit like a reality show where you know that it's ridiculous, but it's kind of hard to stop watching, or in this case stop reading. It's just like, it's pure fun. It's definitely a book that's gonna take you away from like life and problems and whatever you're dealing with. If you want some pure escapism, I feel like you should jump into the story. But if you're not somebody who enjoys some trashy reality shows from time to time, then I think this book might not be for you. It's definitely for the reality show enjoyers. That's what I think, at least. So yeah, I do enjoy the occasional reality show, but not too much. So like I'm kinda on the fence about this book, whether I'm enjoying it or not. There's some parts that I like, some other parts I'm just like rolling my eyes because it's so ridiculous. But I'm still very happy to be reading it, and I'm definitely excited to read the rest of the story. I think I have like 90 pages or so left, so not much. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna be reading it through to the end. Okay, everybody, actually, since we're already down here, there's actually one more thing I've been kind of excited to share with you. I think you just got a small glimpse of it, but I've been kind of excited to show you this. Oh my god, it's so exciting. And honestly, I've still been kind of trying to process these words, but I have a kitchen. This is my kitchen. It still feels so weird to say, but I'm standing in my kitchen. Oh my god, it's been so crazy. So yeah, I've just been kind of excited to show you this. It's obviously not usable yet because it's not quite there yet. It's been only a couple of days since the workers came in to install it, so it's not all done. I'm waiting for my dad to install the faucet back there, and then also I'm actually waiting for my uncle. My uncle is an electrician, so he's gonna come in and plug in the stove. For some reason, the workers who were doing the kitchen didn't plug in the stove. Don't know what it's about, but yeah, thankfully I do have my uncle who promised that he's actually gonna come and do that. And I've also just been waiting for the island to be installed to put up this last light that I actually have right there over on my radiator. So yeah, like I said, there's still actually a lot to do, but thankfully I already have some like dishes that I can use. Those were actually all kind of like housewarming gifts from my family. So I have some coffee cups, some pots, a coffee pot, some glasses and stuff like that. And I've kind of slowly been accumulating some dishes over the past couple of years. Ever since I decided that I want my own kitchen, I've just been kind of like slowly buying things, so I don't have to buy everything all at once now. And I think that was a pretty good idea. Obviously, the main thing I'm kind of missing is some chairs that are gonna go over here around the island. So yeah, like I said, this is like just the basics for now, but it's still been pretty exciting. Honestly, I'm still processing. Genuinely, it feels unbelievable. It's been really hard to wrap my mind around it, but yeah, it's been exciting. So I was kind of excited to share this with you as well, because listen, I'm gonna do so much cooking in here, and I can't wait to be like vlogging down here and stuff. Like, kitchens have always been my favorite spaces in a house. When I was little, I would do everything inside a kitchen. When I would come back from school, I would do my homework, I would study, I would like play, I would watch series, whatever. I was doing everything in the kitchen. I basically lived in the kitchen, except for sleeping. Like, even that afternoon naps I would do in my mom's kitchen growing up. Like, kitchens are very serious for me, and that's kind of why I've just been very, I don't know, I've been the most excited about this part of this small apartment that I've kind of been furnishing over the past couple of years. So the fact that it's here now feels very unreal, but I'm just ready to make some new memories down here inside my own kitchen. So yeah, I don't know if any of you watching have been kind of following along the journey of this apartment coming together. I haven't shown you much, but I've shown you some snippets here and there. So like, if any of you are curious about the rest of it, about the rest of the space, this is still a blank corner because I'm not sure what to do with it yet. But yeah, then we move on here to a little bit of an office space, which is very cluttered right now because I just pushed everything to this corner for the workers who came in to do the kitchen. And then moving on, this is the part that you've basically already seen. I just pushed the couch all the way up to the back wall. So we have the couch there, and then I don't know whether I've shown you this coffee table before though, but I'm really happy with it. It's very sturdy. I love the kind of vintagey look of it, and I love the most that it actually color matches with my new kitchen. This is actually the coffee table that inspired the colors for my kitchen, because I was looking at this. I was initially gonna get like a black and white or like a white and grayish kitchen, But then I saw like this coffee table inside his space, and I was like, but that looks so much warmer and way more homey. So I was like, maybe I should get a kitchen in those colors. And I definitely think it was a good idea. So yeah, I feel like this works way better, especially with the gray floors. If the kitchen counters were also gray, I think it would have been way too gray. And the next thing I'm actually gonna be doing is putting together this piece of furniture. So I have a TV stand still in these boxes because I was waiting to get the kitchen, so the TV stand won't be in the way for the workers. But yeah, I'm actually gonna have to put together that TV stand soon. It's in the same style as this coffee table, so it's gonna color match as well. Yeah, I was just waiting to put it together, and that is actually gonna go in front of that wall that is opposite from the sofa, so I'll be able to just sit on here and have the TV all the way over there. And then we obviously have my little reading nook, which is probably my favorite place in the world, so besides like my room upstairs. You know, just homebody things, just interior things, I feel like. So yeah, that kind of wraps up the space. I have this bookshelf pushed here, by the way, and yeah, maybe I could show you this little shelf up there, which is now my favorite shelf in the world. It has all the cozy fantasy that I have read so far, and I just love looking at it and being excited about the genre, which has kind of been giving me life recently. So yeah, it's like my favorite thing to read right now. Shout out to the sequel that's coming out, to Sangu Mandana's new book. So The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches is getting a sequel in September, and it's my most anticipated book of the year, so I actually can't wait to jump into it. I love that world, I love the writing, I can't wait to meet more of the characters from that world. So yeah, thought I would shout it out. And that's kind of the update I wanted to share with you. I got so hot suddenly. I feel like I just need to lie down right now and cool off. So that's my plan. Oh my god, I'm literally so hot right now. What is happening? That was too much walking around. See, this room only works as an escape from the heat if you don't move around too much. I think that's the main point. Okay, everybody, I kind of feel like the heat wave is actually coming back from vengeance after yesterday's storm. We had a little bit of a reprieve last night when like some colder air finally started blowing, and like that's the only thing that's kind of left from yesterday. The heat wave is back, but it's not as bad because there's like a slight colder breeze still coming in through the windows. So like the easiest solution is just to open up the windows on all sides of the house and just like let it blow through. I feel like that's the only way to really cool it down if you don't have an AC in the house. We do not have an AC in the house because we're all babies and we would actually get sick if we had an AC in the house. Yeah, it's a long story, but basically this is all we got. I'm currently like just sitting here in front of my open window waiting for the colder breeze to come through. So that's how life is. But I'm just like kind of counting small mercies because I don't have to work this weekend. It's like my first weekend off in months, and it just so happens to be this weekend when the heat wave is hitting the hardest, and I've never been more grateful for anything in my life. So I'm extremely thankful that I can just sit on my butt at home in front of this window with my books and just like not do anything that would make me sweat even harder. So yeah. But I do have a little reading update actually that's not related to any of the books that I said I was gonna read, because I was just making lunch and like it was like a little quiet, so I decided to put on an audiobook. And strangely, I found an audiobook that I was meaning to read the last summer, and that's Becky Albertalli's new book. It's called Imogen, obviously, and it is such a sweet story. I started listening today while making lunch. I'm like 2 or 3 chapters in, I'm not sure. And it's the most adorable thing that I have read all year. I've forgotten how good Becky Albertalli is at writing these adorable characters, and just she's so good at telling a story. Oh my goodness, I love the characters already. I actually don't know what the plot is about because I didn't read the synopsis beforehand, but what I've heard so far, it's about this young girl called Imogen, obviously. But yeah, she's actually been friends with this girl who is now away at college already her whole life, and she's never visited her before. So this is actually all about this weekend when she finally decides to go on a trip to this college where she's actually gonna go in the future as well. So they're gonna be at the same university or college or whatever. But yeah, she decides to go visit, and she learns that her best friend actually lied to all of her other queer friends that Imogen is like her ex. So not Imogen, who is actually straight, or she believes herself to be straight, kind of has to deal with those consequences and figure out how to actually navigate this lie without, you know, spoiling her friend's lie, because she doesn't want to expose her. She kind of understands why her friend did it. But yeah, there's probably gonna be more, you know? Not everything's probably gonna be as straight as it seems at first sight. Yeah, that's my guess, but genuinely the most adorable story ever. It's so cute so far. I can't wait to continue with it. But yeah, I'm gonna continue with it later actually, because right now after lunch I actually made some coffee and I've just been waiting for it to cool down a little bit so I can go and make some iced coffee. And that's what I think I'm gonna do right now, and I'm gonna take my book with me. So the one that I'm reading physically, I think I'm gonna finish this one today for sure. I have like 100 pages left and I've just been flying through it, so I think safe to say I'm gonna finish it today. And then my goal is just to start one of the other books on my TBR. I actually don't know where I put them. They're right here. I think the next one I'm gonna be reading is actually Howl's Moving Castle. So that's my next one, because this one is like a new to me book. House in the Cerulean Sea is gonna be a reread. So I'm not gonna be as sad if I don't get to it as I would be if I don't get to Howl's Moving Castle. So yes, that's the plan. But right now I need some iced coffee in my life. I need it, and I need this book as well. So let's go do that. Okay, I'm genuinely all wet right now. That escalated so quickly. I genuinely almost forgot my book outside in the rain. Oh my god, I ran inside the house to kind of turn off all the electronic devices and I forgot my book outside, like on the table under the rain. So it's arrived, it's fine. Only the back cover got wet a little bit, so no books were harmed in this video, but jeez, that was fast. Okay, I'm rainbow hunting because there is rain and there's some sun. So there should be a rainbow, but all we're really getting is some fog. So I guess not yet. Oh my goodness. Hello everybody. So it's actually the next day. And I have to say yesterday's storm ended up being way crazier, I think, than anyone really expected. But what my favorite thing about storms is, like, while it's storming, it feels like it's gonna be the end of the world, but then the storm ends and suddenly it's like nothing ever happened. It almost feels like being gaslighted by the weather, so it's a funny feeling. But yeah, so basically it's the next day and I'm just waiting for confirmation from my family. My dad's been saying all week that he wants to go on like a family trip today, so I'm just waiting for confirmation whether the family actually agrees to go on a family trip. So apparently all 12 of us, so like my parents and both of my brothers with their families, we're talking of going on a trip. I have the perfect thing to wear if we do decide to go, which is this new dress that I got. It's like with a floral pattern and I'm kind of obsessed with it. It's kind of like this perfect summery, very wide dress, and I think I'm gonna wear that if we do decide to go. So I think it's gonna be nice. But I just also wanted to let you know that I did end up finishing The Time I Got Drunk and Save the Demon by Kimberly Lemming. Guys, this book is just cute. Honestly, I've been thinking like all morning how I feel about the story, and can I say it's like my new favorite thing in the world? I don't think so, because there were a few things that bothered me, like a bit of an insta-lovey romance, and the adventure just seemed overall a bit too easy to get through, you know, this quest that the characters go on. But otherwise, everything is just so comforting and so cozy. I love the characters in here. We do meet a bit more like side characters as we go through the story, and they are just adorable. They have the most adorable little squabbles, and it's just such a feel-good type of story, you know? So that's kind of why I really love it as well, even though, you know, it wasn't perfect, unfortunately. But yeah, it does deliver what it promises, which is just a cozy time for a bit of like an escapism. So yes, I adore this one, even though I had no idea what I would actually rate it, because it's so hard. I think I'm gonna give it a couple of days before deciding actually on what sort of rating to give this one. So yeah, and then moving on to the next read, which is gonna be Howl and Castle. So I'm excited about that one. Yeah, I think that's the update. I'm gonna take you along the journey if we do decide to go on a trip. My family was talking about going to the ski resort because it's hot here where we live, and going to the ski resort is probably gonna be a bit colder there, so we're just gonna hang out for the day. And yeah, that's the plan. So maybe it goes through, maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't, I'm just gonna be reading all day, honestly. it. Okay everybody, I'm back and I actually just finished filming my summer TBR video. Funny story, while I was talking about all the books on my summer TBR, I genuinely got so excited about all of them that I'm now genuinely just like on the edge of my seat waiting to jump into those books. I got so excited I actually just decided to start and like read the first chapter of Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert, and it is just perfection. I love Talia Hibbert's writing so much. I don't know how she manages it, but she just writes such relatable, funny characters in this way that just makes you feel like you're part of the story. It's so easy to immerse yourself into these stories and these characters, and I love every single second of it. So yeah, I can't wait to continue with this one. But actually the main reason why I'm checking in right now is because I finished a book. I finished one of my mood reads, and that's Howl's Moving Castle by Wynn Jones, and it was perfection. Genuinely, I wish I had taken more time with this book actually, because I basically binge read. I think I read this book in like two days, maybe like last chapter on the third day or something, but I genuinely flew through it because it was so addictive. Once I started reading it, it just kept flowing, you know. But now that I'm looking back at it, it's the sort of story that I think would be best enjoyed slowly, not so rushed through. Like maybe even read one chapter every day, like every evening, like the sort of fairy tales you would read when you're a child. You know what I mean? Because it has those vibes. Like every chapter feels kind of like its own story. It has kind of like the start of a situation and then the situation is resolved. So each chapter almost feels like a separate story. And now my neighbor decided to go and mow the lawn, so I'm sorry about the noises in the back, but yeah, I love this book so much and now I cannot wait to jump into the movie. I will possibly watch the movie tonight, definitely. Yeah, a lot of the characters in here, oh my goodness, Sophie and Howl and Michael and everybody was just freaking hilarious, and I loved how this story ended, like the last two chapters. Oh my goodness. And then the last book that I'm gonna be reading in this reading vlog is The House in the Cerulean Sea by J Klune. I decided this is gonna be the last one that I'm reading, besides Imogen, obviously. I will finish listening to that one as well. Yeah, so I'm gonna finish these next two books first. Okay, it's later now and we got a movie ready. Thankfully, it's available on Netflix. I also brought some snacks. This is my favorite Pringles. I love this flavor so much. And it's kind of cute, but like the moon is shining out there, so it seems very fitting for some reason. Hey everybody, so it's actually been a couple of days and I just quickly kind of wanted to show you. Since I've shown you my kitchen before, I thought I should do kind of like an update number 2 because my dad was here yesterday and my uncle came in as well and they put together. First off, we have the faucet all set up. Oh my goodness, we now have running water down here, which is freaking crazy. I don't know if anybody else feels like this, but now that there is water down here, it finally feels real. I don't know what it is, but actually having water in the kitchen actually makes it feel more like a kitchen. Is that like a weird thing to say, or is that normal? Because like before it was just furniture, but now that there is a kitchen, and not just a kitchen actually, also a working stove, there's no electricity down here, it just actually feels like a kitchen. You know what I mean? Like you can actually cook down here and you can like wash the dishes or like pour a glass of water or anything. It's not recommendable yet because the pipes that come down here haven't really been used in like 30 years. So the water coming out of here, I don't think it's that safe yet. I think it's gonna take a couple more days of just running the water through the pipes before it really gets like edible and drinkable and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know what I was trying to say, but I just, you know, having both of those working together is very exciting. And then the most exciting update that I have is this light. Oh my goodness, wait, let me turn off the background lights. We have a light. I feel like a caveman showing you that we have running water and a light. Anyway, you know what I mean? It's so weird. Honestly, this is making me feel so old. I'm getting excited over a light. But genuinely, it's like my favorite light ever because for one, it actually changes the tone of the light. So you can have this like bluish white or this pretty, where is it? This pretty warm yellow tone. And then you can also adjust the brightness. So it switches between 3 brightness levels. And like, look at that. Look at this mood lighting. Doesn't it just scream a late night dinner while watching a K-drama underneath on here? It's so perfect. I'm genuinely in love with this light. I think this is gonna be the one that I use the most on here. So that is very exciting. Yes, okay, that's what I wanted to show you quickly, like a little kitchen update, because it's just genuinely, it's so pretty. I still haven't gotten the chairs because honestly, it's very hard to find chairs that match with this kitchen color because it's not entirely white. It's not like a snow white color, it's very much more like vanilla. And finding chairs in that shade or similar to it is very hard. So I think it's gonna take me a little while before I find something matching. And then just quickly, since we're already talking about furniture, I also put together my TV stand. Oh my goodness, please don't judge me. Genuinely, I promise it's not my fault. I did not mess up. They actually put the holes wrong for the hinges of these front doors on the TV stand. That's why it's not entirely finished. I'm actually gonna have to ask my brother to put in some new holes so we can put it together. But you can kind of get like a general idea just from looking at it from here. And it matches with the table, obviously. I still have all my tools here, by the way. But yeah, so I put that together. I did it all by myself. I feel like I've gotten a pro at putting together furniture since I've been like building everything, pretty much everything in here, and then also up in my room. So I've gotten a lot of practice in. So yes, that was a quick little apartment update. And I also have a reading update, guys. So I finished listening to the audiobook of this story and it was absolutely beautiful. Oh my goodness, I can't describe how much I freaking love this story. Everything about it, from the characters to the setting. I think the setting of it is actually my very favorite thing about this story, and it's just the coziest, most magical thing that I have ever read. I think so far, like I have read quite a lot of like cozy stories before, but I think on like the cozy meter, let's call it, this would possibly be the coziest. Because it does basically just follow this family's everyday life and kind of this family welcoming a new member, or like this character becoming a new member of this family. And it's just the warmest, most comforting thing ever, you know? Especially as you consider how much Linus Baker, what a transformation he actually goes through as he visits like this orphanage and the kids, and as he gets to know these kids, you know, the way he's thinking slowly shifts, and you can kind of see that shift in real time on page. and it's just the most beautiful character arc that I've ever read, and I'm absolutely in love with it. So yes, I'm very, very thankful for this story. I love every single aspect. The children especially, they are so, like, they kind of seem like they would be a handful. They honestly remind me of my nieces and nephews a lot. And I can just imagine how chaotic an outing with them would be, but at the same time just perfect, you know what I mean? So yes, I just freaking want to like cuddle this book as I go to sleep. You know, it's just that type of comfort read, and it is just beautiful. I love it a lot. I'm extremely excited that we're getting a sequel. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that one. I think it's coming out in September, maybe October. I know it's sometime this fall, but I think it's a September release, so like not long now. Oh, and actually also, I don't think I've mentioned this before, but I actually also finished listening to Imogen, obviously, by Becky Albertalli. I'm all done with that audiobook as well. And oh my goodness, it's possibly my new favorite contemporary romance ever. It was such, I don't know what it is about it, but it's such a comforting read. I love every single character in there. Like, it's genuinely just one of those stories where you want to jump in and just live with the characters for like a week or a couple of weeks and just hang out with them, because that's how charming and adorable and likable they were. Like, they work so well as like a friend group, and the romance was just exquisite. Oh my goodness, it was so well written. But I think the relationship in the story that I enjoyed the most was between Edith and Imogen. So Edith is actually Imogen's little sister, and they just had such an adorable, supportive, yet kind of teasing relationship. It was beautiful. I love it so much. I can't wait to get a physical copy of it. I'm currently kinda on a book buying ban, but I just might break it for a couple of books. I don't know yet. I'm trying to have self-control, but it's hard. But yes, anyway, before I jinx anything, I think it would be safer to just wrap up the reading vlog now. So I think this is where I'm gonna leave it off. Thank you so much for checking in and watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed following along on this little mood reading and summer storms and whatnot. It was an eventful July, honestly. So far it's been quite extreme, I guess. Like, from the heat to the storms, everything just felt very extreme. So yes, but thankfully the books that I was reading were also extremely good. So like, that extreme I didn't like. It was just the rest of it that was kind of scary and just, you know, hard. So yeah, okay, that's gonna be it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're having a good day or night wherever you are, and until next time, bye bye.